It's rolling. Embarrassing.
Okay, this is not.
Maybe you want to plant a garden or learn a dance from this cool chick. Or make up some crazy song.
Last night I had the strangest dream. I sailed away to China and I got the coronavirus. They said I had to stay in quarantine.
Let's talk about how perspective and choices can help you through this crazy quarantine, okay? I'm gonna tell you a little story about a guy, young, healthy guy who went to work. And his friends wanted to do a little experiment. And so throughout the day, his coworkers, the people around him, would randomly say to him, "Hey, Joe, you don't look so good. Are you feeling okay?" And, "Joe, you look really pale. Are you okay?" Or just constantly referring to, "You don't look very good, and are you sure you're feeling okay?" By the end of the day, Joe was not feeling good, and he went home. He went home early because he wasn't feeling good, because those thoughts had been planted in his brain. Thoughts are so powerful. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that your thoughts are what's gonna help you not get sick, but the way that you think about all of this is going to be the greatest predictor of how all of this goes for you. So make sure that you're actually choosing your thoughts and not allowing your thoughts to choose you. If you're thinking, "This sucks," which actually sounds more like a teenager, right? "This sucks, I have to stay home," then that's exactly how it's gonna be for you. If you say, "Wow, this is awesome, I get to stay home," then that will also be exactly how it goes for you. My favorite way is the way that this guy says it.
A common thread you'll see with successful people is they treat their trials and challenges as opportunities for growth. And while these are difficult times, now that our schedules have been totally cleared, we have potentially a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to invest in ourselves.
Yes, this is time to invest in ourselves. If we look at it like that, then this time is a gift to do something that we otherwise wouldn't have been able to do. Seeing this time as a gift, as time to bring something to us that we otherwise would not have had, is the game changer in all of this. Being able to sit back and ask yourself the golden question: what do I want to have as a result of this quarantine? A talent, an ability, like maybe what do you want to know about, right? Like what are the things that you maybe wanted to do? Like maybe you're really ambitious and you wanted to write a book your whole life. Maybe that's not the case, and maybe you just want to read a book. Or maybe you just want to get like some photos organized, or use the time to connect with your loved ones, with the people that you are in quarantine with. Maybe it's time to change some mindsets and some thought processes around. It is golden time. This is like precious and good time. And if we choose to see it that way, if we actually choose our thoughts in that direction, it will change everything. So let that be your mind shift, mind switch. Think of things that you actually do want instead of what you don't want. This will be pivotal in the way things go for you at your house. So with that said, here are a few more ideas and tips or tricks of things that will help you make it through. First off, when anything is unsettling, it gives you so much power to control the things that you do have control over. Okay, so one thing that is kind of like ripped out from underneath us is the schedule and the routine that we have had every single day. And that's gonna take a little bit more self-control, but do what you can to create a schedule every single day and stick to it. I know that one of the greatest things about this whole thing is that we can like forget our schedule, but the problem with more flexibility is that too many choices and too many options actually cripple us, leaving us stuck in the mud and spending too much time deciding what we want to do instead of actually doing. And then add on top of that, getting the whole family on board to do certain things at certain times, and that is just total chaos. So having set times that those things happen that is like a key, right? One of the things that I love around schedules is the idea of a block schedule. Granted, the things that you do as a family when you all sit down together, you've got to set a time for that and honor that and sit down. But I love block schedules. where you have a block of time to accomplish certain things. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, this chick is so awesome and she can walk you through that. I'll post a link to her video on block schedules in the comments below. Another idea is to use different parts of the house during the day to do different activities, and that can help break up the day. Like say your reading time happens only in the hammocks outside, or maybe different classes that different kids are taking happen at different like countertops or spaces in the house. That sometimes can break up the day and make it not so monotonous. Those are just some examples of how switching things around makes you actually feel like you're moving about your day differently than just being in one spot the whole day, which is sometimes really hard for kids. Okay, now, I know that so many people have been like sitting home in yoga pants, and that's like what everybody really wants to do, right? But your family needs to see you get dressed every single day, even if that looks differently for you than it used to. Whatever that looks like for you, do it. Make your bed. Make time for personal and spiritual study. Make sure you are getting physical activity. Drink water. Take care of yourself. These are the bedrock things, right? I love the meme that I saw last week that said, y'all, we're going to be able to tell who exercised or who baked their way through quarantine. Isn't that true? Take care of yourself. And know that those tiny little choices, I mean, even if you have to tell yourself this every day, those tiny little choices are going to contribute the most significantly to your emotional well-being. Oh, and there's tons of ways for you to get that physical activity in, and I will link some of my favorite ways to do it at home virtually in the comments below. And here's the thing with kids. I know that it's tough, and it's tough to like switch schedules all around and do all that, but whatever you expect from them is what you're going to get from them. I loved this other meme that I saw just the other day. And sometimes that's just the way that this is gonna go, right? Like this is just tough, and figuring out is hard. And maybe you have certain personality things or certain conditions that exist in your home with the sweet people that are in your home that you're trying to manage and handle. And that is hard. It is so hard. But you can do this. You are their parent for a reason, and you can do this. I feel like one of the biggest struggles for me with my kids is telling them and teaching them the why behind, like, why is social distancing important? And if you feel that same way, I've put some videos in the comments below that are so good. One of them is about germs and how germs spread and how the coronavirus specifically spreads. It's fantastic, and it's kind of geared towards the thought processes of kids. Another one is a chat that is someone that they might be familiar with that talks about how they got coronavirus and how that felt.
Then I proceeded to sleep that entire day and woke up that night with extreme night sweats. My bed and blanket were both drenched. Then the headache that came on the morning after was alarming. The pain, the sensation in my eyes, super sensitive to the light, and this overwhelming sensation of dizziness as well as just feeling really lightheaded. It took a large amount of energy just to get a deep breath of air, and I've never felt anything more intense than that sensation in my entire life.
And then another one by Casey Neistat that kind of just walks through LA and some streets of New York and some different status updates with Corona and how things are going. And he's begging us to stay at home and shows us that these streets are all empty. It's crazy.
This street would be packed on a Friday. These sidewalks would be as crowded as can be. I live near here, I've never seen it this quiet down here. And every store, almost every store has a sign that says, we're closed. Yo, what's it like there?
Can I just show you?
Yeah, show me.
Dude, look at Broadway. It is an absolute ghost town.
This is there, so right here is where all planes take off, like all day, every day. Planes. And there are no planes.
So those are below if you want to take a look at those and show those to your kiddos. Also, on the subject of expecting things from kids, I feel like if we approach them and we do expect them to do their school and to do their physical activity and taking care of contributing to the house and the family, then I promise you're going to get that. You might have to get creative, but you can do it, and they can do it. It is so good for our kids to work and to contribute. I know some adults who were not expected very much of them when they were younger to work, and they feel like it has negatively impacted their adult life, that they've had to like relearn a lot of things, like maybe harder than if they would have just been taught how to properly work when they were young. So don't feel bad like having your kids work and do these things, maybe doing projects around the house, or maybe you have a situation like at our house where I work, my husband works, and obviously with kids home, there's more responsibilities going on. And so I have shifted all kitchen duties to my kids, except for on Sundays. So what we've done is we have 3 kids and they each have 2 days a week that they cook breakfast and they're in charge of cleaning up the kitchen for the whole day. And I'm telling you right now, it's glorious. It's not just glorious for me. I know that it's good for them. So it really is fantastic because it is freeing up my time and kind of giving back when I'm being pulled away for, I feel like, I don't know if you feel like the same thing, but you're just having to be in so many places at once because you also want time to go slow enough that you can sit right by your kids and teach them and help them walk through this kind of crazy time, you know, and have those special bonding moments. So it frees up time. So maybe think about things that you can do in that manner as well. Okay, and one more thing about, I know there's gonna be so many more fights, right, between siblings and so forth. You guys, I have done a few videos that are fantastic on helping your kids taking that fighting element out of your family. So I'm gonna link those down below for you as well. Another thing that we're doing is we're planting a garden. We're getting outdoors and it's gonna force us to soak up that vitamin D. These guys, they're all here participating in doing this. We're doing it all together because we all need it, every one of us, right? I know that getting kids on board to do projects takes adjusting their perspective, trust me, I know that. But I think an outside activity or task is vital to help us move through quarantine with all around health. So hopefully you have access to the outdoors, even if it's just a patio and you're spending some time out there hanging hammocks or maybe planting some things in pots. So when you're making your schedule and you're doing your planning, make sure that you plan something outside that gives you that vitamin D and gives you the chance to connect with Mother Earth and the outdoors. So if it's possible for you to dig your hands down into the soil and work with it, that's an extra bonus because there's actually some bacteria in the soil. This is a real thing, okay? This is a real thing. There's actually bacteria in the soil that releases serotonin in your brain, that feel-good hormone, that chemical. The soil actually releases that in your brain. It's amazing. And then a note on limiting electronics. If there's a part inside of you that says that you feel like you need to pull them away from that, it's probably because you do. And don't feel bad if you take it away entirely. Do whatever your heart says, okay? So if it says pull back or if it says take it away entirely, and there are times with my kids that I take it away entirely because I know that they need that mind shift. They need to be able to think about other things that they would like to do and ways that they would like to apply themselves in life. And when there's too much of the video games present, they don't do that. So if you need a little bit of strength in that area, I did another video about video games and our approach with kids with that and helping you find the strength to be able to do that. Because believe it or not, I have talked to so many moms who are like, I can't do it. And that breaks my heart. But I'll put that video for you guys below if you want to take a look at it. Okay, and a note on service. Service is, like, we know that service is so good for us, right? Serving others. And yeah, we can serve the people in our house that we are technically, you know, staying at home with, but there are other ways to serve. I'm gonna tell you, my aunt, she is in an assisted living facility. And this is seriously the saddest story to me because I don't know if all of the, you know, homes for elderly are like this, but my aunt is quarantined to her room. They can't even have like social dinners together. They can't leave their room. So basically they've got a room and a bathroom and that's their space. And that's the only place they can be. Nurses are limited to touching them and so forth. So it's very isolating and very depressing. So if you know anybody in an old folks home, or like my mom, she's just at home alone, right? So she can move through her house and she can go outside, she can do all those things, but she's at home alone. So one of the things that we've chose to do is we are Marco Poloing them messages and showing them the things that we're doing to move through our day and just giving them uplifting stories or jokes or whatever through Marco Polo. Such a huge gift, right? Marco Polo. And so that's one way that you can serve others and teach your kids to serve others. Another thing that one of my friends was doing with her kids that I thought was really clever in the arena of service is that they were making medical masks for the nurses and so forth in their area that needed them. So I thought that was a cool idea. If you guys have more ideas on service and the way that we can do service at home, We can work from home, right? We can work from home. So if you have more ideas on that, put it in the comments below and maybe we can spread a couple of ideas that way too. Okay, and then another note just on having fun, still make plans because it gives everybody something to look forward to. So whether you're gonna plan like a theme night, game night, movie nights, you know, anything in that, in those kind of arenas of something that kids can look forward to, or even as adults, you know, we look forward to spending that time. Maybe an idea is to plan a virtual party. We're gonna see how this goes. We are planning a virtual party. We're gonna do a dance off with one of our family friends that we just love. We love hanging out with them, but since we can't hang out with them, we're gonna have a virtual party with them this weekend. So maybe try something like that and make fun plans and some things that you can do to create things that people can look forward to. So no matter what you plan, make sure that you are choosing your thoughts and creating and living through your days so that you can become a better person and a better family once like quarantine's over and released, right? In that, I promise that you'll find more power than you think or thought that you had. I'm wishing you guys joy on this journey and I'll see you guys really soon.